This is what I stopped doing to go from having hypnosis breakthroughs at the hour mark compared to now having breakthroughs within 4 minutes, which is insane when you think about it. So I stopped preparing for my sessions. Now, I was one of those hypnotists who, I was trained in the traditional method. So I used a lot of techniques, right? Usually regression, inner child stuff, visualization stuff. I said regression already, right? And that too. And so what I would do before was I would overly prepare for my sessions. So I would look at my clients' intake form and I would really like overly psychoanalyze what they had put in their form, their intake form. And I would have this over like plan in my head as to, okay, so if my clients were going to say this, I'm going to do this technique. If I do the regression and I make sure that I say these things before the regression, they're definitely going to have a scene. So I'm not going to have that dreaded, oh, I have no scene. The scene is black. I don't see anything, because that was a fear and anxiety that I always had. And then I was like, okay, but if for some reason my clients don't go to any scenes, I am going to do this and I'm going to say it and I would memorize it. And then, oh, but if that doesn't work, then I will do this. But if my clients would say this, then I'm going to do this. Like so much mind game, so much rep work. And what happened was that was completely freaking useless, because when the actual session would happen, all of these prepared, anticipated um things that my client was going to tell me actually never happened, and the session would go into a completely different route than what I had anticipated. So preparing was definitely useless, but I was really stuck at that point because I didn't know how to not prepare. I didn't know what to do, right? Like I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know how I could stop relying on these techniques and how I could stop relying on these very rigid structures that is not really intuitive. And so thinking about that, I was like, okay, well, I need something, right? I need something that requires no preparation. And of course, if you ask, you receive. You ask, you receive. And then the opportunity came to train in conversational hypnosis. And that was when I stopped preparing for my sessions, because then I had learned how to just listen to my clients and use the information that they're giving me right then and there, whether it be expected or unexpected, and use it to help them have their breakthroughs instead of me preparing in the meantime. Because we've all done this, right? We've overly prepared a conversation in our minds and it almost never happens. Like maybe it's an argument with our old boss and we're like, I'm going to say this to my boss and then they're going to say this and I'm going to say this afterwards. And then the conversation never ends up having this, having been that way, like 95% of the time. So what's the point of preparing? Same thing here, like inner peace, man, that is more valuable than trying to prepare for all of these things that are not going to happen anyway. Same within our session. So when I just learned that skill set of really knowing how to get good at investigating my client's problem, knowing how to utilize a client's information right there and then within the sessions, enabled for me to confidently not prepare anymore, which enabled then the result of having 4-minute breakthroughs, because I just knew what information is necessary to focus on within the sessions to help the client find their own answers. And this is the key here, right? Our clients find the answers. It is not us. So why are we preparing? Like, what can we say to a client's unconscious mind that has a lifetime of their experiences? What is our limited conscious thinking going to do and going to compare with regards to the unlimited storage of their current unconscious mind? Nothing, right? So focus on the client instead, because the answers are within them anyway. And so this was so freeing to me, learning how to do this. And that's why we teach it. I teach it now. And, if you want any info on it, definitely just let me know, because once you really experience that session where you didn't prepare and your breakthroughs were faster, damn, you're never going to look back. Your life is going to be forever changed. Your hypnosis business is going to be forever changed. And most importantly, your clients' lives are going to change for the better, and you'll feel that confidence that you're actually making a difference in your clients' lives today.